Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. How are you today? I hope you're doing well, right? Even though you might be in self-isolation, government quarantine, self-quarantine, doesn't matter. You might be an essential worker out there on the front line. Welcome. Hi. I hope you're doing well, staying safe, practicing your infection control measures and your social distancing, or what I call physical distancing, because you really should be not be antisocial, right? So you should be practicing physical distancing. Yeah. Welcome, 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 welcome. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you for being with me for another episode of Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. Indeed. Ah, my God, what a weekend. I hope you had a good weekend. I had a fabulous weekend. How was your weekend? Let me know. We are in live chat. We have live chat here. You know, you can just comment, right? You can just comment in the box. And when you comment, I will see it live and I'll be able to say, hi, hello, how are you, Tom? How are you, Mary? Yeah, I know I have my usual fans like my dad watching and my aunt and some of my best friends and some of my good friends are watching. I know always, and I thank you. Guys, I'm going to tell you again, you have to subscribe, okay? YouTube shows me the analytics, right? I see the analysis and I know that a lot of persons are watching, but they're not subscribing because I see the analytics, right? However, some say analytics, okay. But the point is this, guys, that um, YouTube's algorithms that they look at my subscriptions. And so if you think that you want me to get noticed by YouTube for the right reasons, right? Subscribe. As you're watching, just hit the subscription button. Just hit subscribe. You're not signing up. You don't have to give your name and address and phone numbers and email address and all that to subscribe to this channel. No, just hit that subscription button, the button that says subscribe, hit it, and that's it. That's all you got to do. All right. So while you're watching, it doesn't take too much to do, right? That's not very hard to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button for me, guys. You will be doing me a great favor and I will appreciate you forever. All right, guys, that also, why I do this. I do this for us. Like, guys, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, okay? And knowledge is nothing if it's kept. We have to share it. It has to be shared. It has to be applied. I don't pretend to know everything, but what I know, I share with you. I'm a student of knowledge, as are you, okay? And so we are here, each one teach one. And so I'm here to help you to navigate this process called life, right? We have one life in this world, and we need to do it with fewer mistakes, right? Living vicariously, and that's what it means, right, for us to learn. Learning allows us to make fewer mistakes and to have a more successful life, right? And if we can learn from someone else, then why make that same mistake, huh? Absolutely. And so the more information you have, the more you're able to make informed decisions. All right. And so that's why I'm here to help us to make informed decisions. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks again. If it's your first time, welcome. Thank you for being with me on this program. Okay. Remember to like and share the link with all your contacts. Remember, I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at News JA, okay, and there you can also like and comment, okay, and share, of course, the link. All right, awesome, awesome. Well, guys, I have another great program for you today, right? Did you like yesterday's program? I hope you did. I know we had a lot of interruptions yesterday, but my daddy, no interruptions today. I'm asking my good daddy not to let me have any interruptions today. Of course, if I do, he's still God all by himself. Right? Absolutely. And so I ain't mad at you. Yeah, my daddy loves me. I know, and I know, he loves you too. Awesome, awesome. So you know this speed by now, guys. My routine. I'm going to give you the news, and then I give you my 2 cents, right? My commentary. It's a talk show where I tell you, I'm very opinionated, and I give you my opinion on what has been happening. And a lot has been happening every single day, guys. When you turn on the news, it's like, and most of what you're hearing is not correct, right? It's misinformation, huh? But as Denzel Washington says, misinformation is better than no information. Yeah, absolutely. At least you know that whatever you hear, there's an ounce of truth in it. All right. So I try to do my own research, guys, and try to be a better journalist than some of our so-called journalists out there. Okay, my fellow brothers and sisters in the fraternity. However, the intention is each one help one and to let our light shine that they will see and they will do better. Yeah. So, I give you my. I give you the news and then I give you my 2 cents on it. So here goes. Jamaica now has 469 confirmed cases of the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, according to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The 6 new cases are all from St. Mary, guys, and there are contacts of a confirmed case, and their ages range from 9 years. For my fans, my my viewers who like the big data, yeah, I have the numbers here for you for my big data viewers. Here goes. So we have 439 persons who are in isolation, and we have 88 persons who are in government quarantine. Yeah, we have, unfortunately, we have 9 deaths now. Yeah, we have one more death, a 72-year-old from Kingston St, yeah, who has succumbed to the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, bringing our deaths now to 9. Our sincere condolences and prayers to the family and friends of the gentleman from Kingston and St. Andrew who succumbed to the disease. He was 72 years of age, and I'm almost guaranteeing you that it was some underlying condition. Good news, we now have 38 recoveries. So our recovery is climbing. We had 33 yesterday. We had 5 more recoveries. And so now we have 38 recoveries. So if you notice, guys, we have 4 times more recovery than we have deaths, right? So people are recovering. Yay. So COVID-19, guys, is not a death sentence. It is not a death sentence, although we've lost a few persons, may their souls rest in peace. It's not a death sentence. People are recovering. Yeah, you can recover. Right. And so they did 5,633 samples to date, right? And of that number, 5,126 were negative. So out of that you have 507. So I said 469. So what happened to the rest? Okay, so the balance of 38, those are what's pending. Those 38 samples are pending. We will know more tomorrow. Speaking of pending, I have to give you the next story about this 19-year-old patient, guys, who is in Manchester. So listen to this, guys. Listen to this. So a patient who has been housed at the Manchester Isolation Center since April 10, 2019, and who harbored hopes of finally being released, has been gutted by the news that health authorities have reportedly lost his second exit sample. Can you believe that, guys? The first Alorica employee, guys, I think it was around April 7th, 8th, or 9th, thereabout. Okay, that was the first, right? Now, this is the second one. This is almost a month later on the 10th of April, yeah? He was tested positive for the coronavirus disease. So now he is distressed because after reaching nearing almost 4 weeks, he is still in isolation in Manchester, guys, and no news of his latest is results of his sample. So the Gleaner did an interview, and so I got this news from the Gleaner, right? So of course we can't name the facilities and we can't give his name, right? Because that would be illegal under the Disaster Risk Management Act, the DRMA, okay? And if you're charged under the DRMA, your fines is enormous, can be up to $1 million, or you can also be imprisoned. Yeah, so you don't want to break the DRMA. So, according to the reports, of course, you know that by now, coronavirus patients must receive 2 negative results, right? Within a 48-hour period before they can be released from the facility. You will know that by now, right? So this Alorica employee, however, yesterday he was swabbed by the doctors. Yesterday being, I should say the day before yesterday, because this actually happened yesterday, Sunday. So it would have been Saturday that he would have been swabbed, which means by now he should have gotten his results, right? Okay. However, he was asked when asked, why he was subjected to a third round of exclusionary tests, he was told that his results had been misplaced. So because they misplaced the results for his test, they had to do another test, which was yesterday, the before yesterday, they swabbed him for another test. I'm going to quote him now. He said, just a while ago, one of the nurses called me and said one of my results came back negative and one came back positive. Interesting. So when contacted by the Gleno, Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Stephen Davidson, said that while he was not aware of that particular case for the 19-year-old, the outstanding backlog in test results have been cleared, and so the patients should be getting their results soon. I'm going to quote him now. He said, that's how it is, He'll have to wait until he gets 2 negative tests, unquote, before he can be released. But here's the problem, though. The patient, the 19-year-old, he says he has not seen his parents or his relatives since he has been isolated almost a month. No, and he's a teenager. He's a 19-year-old, right? He said the lack of communication by medical staff on his status has been most galling. This has left him frustrated, especially since he is reportedly no longer exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19. I'm going to quote him now. He says, nobody don't visit me because they don't know where the center is. Every other patient get visitor who carry things for them. I just recently, my father come off a quarantine. And it is really upsetting and very frustrating. Me not understand why everybody else results come early and some people results are come in at 2 days. And mine I take 2 weeks, 3 weeks to come. How I go so? He asked. The Clarendon resident told the Gleaner that if the situation is more disconcerting because he was confirmed with COVID-19 from Alorica, who have since been taken into quarantine and are looking forward to going home. It really attests my faith, he said, disclosing that he had business plans that will have to be shelved. Yeah. Do I need to say anything about that, guys? I mean, seriously. That is just appalling, right? Again, if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, I know it was broken up into pieces, but I did do a playlist. Look at the playlist for yesterday, guys, and watch the playlist because the playlist will give you yesterday's program. Look for the playlist for yesterday. I did a playlist, okay, and watch it because I talked about the healthcare system yesterday, guys, and you see how broken the healthcare system is, right? Which I think I should use that opportunity to segue into the other report by the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, because of what he said concerning the story that I brought yesterday, remember, about the Gleaner article saying that there were 4 private hospitals that are certified. So here goes. So in response to the Gleaner article that only 4 private hospitals are certified to operate, the health minister has ordered an inspection of private hospitals across the island. And again, like I said, go watch yesterday's episode, guys. You see when I made a request and I called out to them to do this, right? I asked for this to be done yesterday in my report, in my my commentary, right? So it is now being done, the minister says. He said he was not aware that Andrews Memorial Hospital, right, which is a Seventh-day Adventist hospital, is not certified. This is ironic, guys, that the Andrews Memorial Hospital is not certified. You know, the Seventh-day Adventists are very close to the government. You know that. You know, our top leaders are Seventh-day Adventists. You know that. Okay. You know, Cornwall Regional Hospital, right, has been the Seventh-day Adventist is their beneficiary, is a benefactor, right? Their benefactor. The Cornwall Regional Hospital right now is operating off the compound of the Seventh-day Adventist Western Conference compound. You know that, right? Exactly. So Andrews Memorial being a Seventh-day Adventist also that is supposed to be so close to the government, felt supposed to be so close to the government, felt so it's interesting. Many persons are having difficulties trying to get registered, right, with their institutions. And here we have institutions, and the reason being because then they can't meet the qualifications to be registered, right? I remember remember when I was trying to register my assisted living facility because of the red tape and the blue tapes and the pink tapes, and I was threatened that if I were to start to operate without first getting licensed, I could be fined up to $500,000, which I don't have. So I had to scrap that idea because I don't have that money. Yeah. Well, here it is. Andrews Memorial Hospital that has millions of lives. I talked about it yesterday. Again, you can go watch yesterday's program. But the fact is, it is what it is right now. And right now, it falls under that act. Right? And I'm saying the reason these things are allowed to happen or can happen because of these archaic act that they have that needs to be overhauled, okay, and amended for now, for today, 21st century, 2020. Yeah. So, anyways, the minister said, and listen, I'm not blaming Dr. Tufton here. I'm not Dr. Tufton. I'm not blaming you because that's why you employ people, right? No, but I'm saying though, mistakes happen, and there's so many mistakes happening in the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And I know it's a tough time, but you see, when this is over, some heads must roll because we must pay for our mistakes. We all have to pay for our mistakes. I pay for my mistakes when I make them. As a matter of fact, I'm paying for some mistakes right now. You understand? We pay for our mistakes. So it can't be business as usual. People are making mistakes. It is. Somebody dropped the ball here because how can you have the minister signing a memorandum of understanding and MOU with Andrews Memorial Hospital and then not even in right standing with the government? Huh? And nobody saw that? Nobody, Mr. Dunn, you're the permanent secretary, Brian Dunstan, right? Or sorry, Dunstan Brian. You are the permanent secretary, right? You're the secretary. Permanent secretary, you're the secretary, like in an organization of a secretary. That's what you are, right? Except in the ministry, because, government jobs are, it's a permanent position, so it doesn't matter which party is in power, you're still there, right? You should know the job at the back of your hand by this. So how is it, sir, okay, that you and your staff did not see something like this, did not recognize it, did not investigate it, and you should know because you have said yourself that no institution is going to operate, right, if they are not properly certified. So how did this happen? Right? And right now, there are only, in the island of Jamaica, right now, there are only 4 private hospitals that are certified. Only 4. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what 4 there are now, people, right now. Here are the 4 hospitals in Jamaica. So, here's what happened now. You go to the other one at your own risk. Understand anything happen to you? Chances are there's no redress. Although, I was told, or I read somewhere, where attorney at law, his name again, Andre Earl, basically said there was a redress, or there could be redress if something does happen. But I did not read that story, so I can't give it to you. But I can tell you, the 4 certified hospitals in Jamaica, private hospitals as of right now, are Hospiten, Jamaica Limited, Baywest Wellness Hospital, Art of Supply, and Winchester Surgical and Medical Institute. Those are the only guys. Those 4 hospitals, really and truly, are the only ones that's supposed to be open right now, seriously speaking. That's what they're saying in terms of private hospital. Can you imagine? And I think we have approximately 15 or 18 private hospitals in Jamaica. I mean, this is an indictment on the ministry, You realize that, right? It's an indictment. You see what I mean when I say to you guys that the system is broken and needs to be overhauled? You see all these things. Now, aren't you agreeing with me that COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise? You see how many things that the COVID-19 is revealing? If all these things didn't happen, we wouldn't know these things, I mean, the small man knows because he goes to the hospital and can't get through. You understand? He has to wait for the whole day to get a small procedure done. Yeah? He has to stay in the bed because there's no, or sit in a chair because there's no bed available. He knows all these things. But the powers that be don't seem to know all these things because they send for reports. They're not coming down to Cornwall or to Nuttall or to Andrews or wherever and do their investigation. So reports are sent up, and you can imagine some of these reports are padded. That's what we call it, right? They're padded for everything to seem okay. A stamp of approval is put on it, and it goes, and it continues, and it's business as usual. Yeah. Whereas things are falling through the cracks. But it's only when you have a situation like a Jody and Farron case, sad to say, You know, it took her life to reveal to the higher ups what's been going on for years, if not decades. Yeah. So I'm really sorry, Mr. Minister, for this egg in your face at this point in time. I'm not blaming you, sir. I'm blaming your staff that they should have known better, right? And when all is said and done, because you can't fire anybody right now, and I know they say ministry, people want to work with the government because it's a safe job. It's hard for you to be fired. But when COVID-19 is done, I hope, you might reconsider. Yeah, because persons need to be held accountable. It's called accountability, right? But there's no firing of anybody right now because this is COVID-19 and this is a pandemic and people need their money, right? So right now we have to show compassionate discretion. Yeah, we're going to show compassionate discretion. But it is noted. It must be noted. It must be placed on file. Yes. XYZ, ABC, whoever these persons are that dropped the ball, right? Yes, it's going to go on their record. It should go on their record for future reference. Absolutely. Okay. So continuing, guys, continuing. Oh, yes, I got to give it this one. Oh, my God. This is a sad one, guys. A sad one. Yeah. So apparently, another person has drowned in the Rio Cobre River in St. Catherine. This time it is a 3-year-old boy. This has reignited calls from the Kent Village Bog Walk community for a permit fence to be installed to end the recurring instance of persons falling into the river. It was only 2 months ago in March that residents lost a 7th grader to the same river. Yeah? So let me give you the story as I read it. I was so distraught when I read the story, guys. I mean, really. So here it says, residents said that the Rio Cobre, yeah, but it's potatoes, presented serious dangers for children, even if they are being supervised. Said Marcus Benjamin, a resident, said, when all is said and done, there needs to be a fence around here, as there are many children living in the community. When the river is in state, it's just God's mercy why more sad stories are not happening, right? As residents argued among themselves about a solution, 27-year-old Natasha Sinclair clung to her 2-year-old son Peter Barrett as she stared into an abyss of regret as she replayed in her mind the moments that led to her son Keshawn Walker drowning in the nearby river. The 3-year-old's body was found in the Rio Cobre sometime after 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. From last night, I don't sleep. And every time I remember him, I am in pure pain all over my body, Sinclair told the Gleaner. Me really miss him, and it made me sad, as him was very bright. Me feel it badly, she said. The mother of 3 was consumed with sadness and shock, her lips refusing to retrace the tragedy. Although details of Keshawn's demise were sketchy, it was revealed that an adult had been entrusted with the children, who eventually went to the river a short distance away. It's not that these children are bad, It's just that everyone around here can swim, and unfortunately, the little boy drowned, said a resident. It really hit the community hard. This was a bright child and could be a future businessman, a lawyer, or even the prime minister who died. It is very hard to understand, another resident mused. Keshawn was a student of the Four Square Basic School in St. Catherine community and was said to be very active. This is the second such drowning tragedy in more than a month in the parish. On March 20th, Joshua Gordon, a 7th grader of St. Jago High School, drowned in a section of the river towards Helsham Park side. Residents are calling for fencing to be installed in the vicinity of homes along the river. Meanwhile, Councillor Peter Abrahams of the Bog Walk Division expressed sympathy for the family. The Bog Walk police have launched an investigation into the incident. Guys, I can't. You know that you know what I'm talking about, right? That Bog Walk, that Bog Walk River, right? Cobre River, right? That the flat bridge span, yeah. Guys, I don't know how many of you have driven on that flat bridge and alongside that river, but it is one scary experience, I can tell you. I am happy. I must tell you, I am happy that they have an highway that even if I have to pay the toll, I'd rather pay the toll on the highway than drive on that flat bridge, I can tell you. That river, my God, has taken so many lives. I don't understand why it is that there is no fencing there. It really, I don't understand. There must be an explanation. And maybe one day that could be an expose where I could actually do a story on that as to why even the bridge itself has no rails. There are no rails on the flat bridge. And there are no rails and fencing along the river bank, okay? And so the question is, why not? Why? For years, this river has claimed the lives of many persons. Persons have fallen in and have drowned, right? If you trace it back, this is only 2 incidents you're hearing about in a 2 month time span, right? But it has been happening for years upon years. Persons have drowned in this river. And still today, nothing has happened. And we would like to know, the powers that be, right? We'd like them to tell us exactly why is it that we can't have fencing placed alongside this riverbank, right? We'd like to see that happen. And if it cannot be done, we need to be told why. And if it cannot be done, other measures must be put in place to prevent people from falling into this river all the time and drowning. We're losing our young people too much to this river, man. Yeah, those are our future. We're losing our future here. Yeah. Yeah. Very sad story. And our condolences and prayers to the mother who lost her son, Keshan. Yeah. Like I said, could be the future prime minister. We don't know who we have lost right there. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very sad story. Yeah. So, this one, guys. This one take the cake. This one, we have curfew, right? And we have curfew from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. So tell me, why is it now that police have to arrest 18 persons because they were having a party? Now, let me give you the story on this one, guys. So, according to the police, at about 7:15 p.m. on Saturday, they were on patrol in the Orange Street, Kingston area when they heard loud music. Yeah? Upon investigation, they found a group of people at a party. The police say the people were instructed to go home. Majority of the patrons complied. However, 18 reportedly they did not, and so they arrested and charged them for breaching the disaster risk management at the DRMA. Yeah? And the police now have issued the names of the persons who have been arrested in the Orange Villa area of Slipe Road in Kingston. Okay. Now, they have listed the 18 names. I am not going to call out these persons on this program, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on it. But I have right here the names, addresses, and age of these persons. The police have listed, guys, in the paper the names, addresses, and ages of these 18 persons who were charged under the DRMA. I'm not going to call out their names, like I said, but I must say, guys, seriously, at what point are we going to get it? At what point are we going to understand? I know, we all have our theories as to what this COVID-19 is, whether it is real or not, what it is causing it, whether it's 4G, 5G causing it or whatever. We all have our theories. But the reality is this. What are the facts? As we know it, we can always theorize, right? We all have our opinions. But what we know for a fact is that persons with underlying conditions are dying from this disease. That's much, we know that much. Persons are dying. Okay? So that's why we say stay home and practice social distancing, physical distancing. Yeah, that's why we say it. Now, how can you be having a party? And we saw the video clippings of the persons, right? There were quite a bit of them there. And it was also said, and I'll have more for you, as this is an ongoing developing, the developing ongoing story, that I'll have more for you, because it was said that some persons escaped. Some person, when the police came, some persons ran away and they escaped. So apart from the fact that, but here's the point though. Why that might not be, I don't think anybody's going to hunt them down. Reason being, some persons were allowed to leave. They were told to go home, and some persons complied and they went home. So these persons who ran away they could say, oh, we were a part of the team that went away willingly, as opposed to just running away, right? So I don't think anybody's going to go hunt them down. So here it is though, we have 18 who refuse to comply with the police by going home. And so it is these 18 who ended up right now behind bars. You remember that story, guy, that guy the video went viral because he was cursing out the prime minister and cursing out the police and using foul language, remember, right? And he was arrested. You would have thought that would have been an example set for others to follow, right? You would have thought. We would have learned to live vicariously, right? So how is it now that persons are still being arrested for being at a party when we know by now that you will be arrested and charged if you're caught having a party under the DRMA? Curfew, guys, is 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The only persons who must be on the road after 6 p.m. are the essential workers and the transportation who is going home, heading home. Not even taking them to work, but heading home. That means they should reach work by 6 o'clock, because the taxi driver has between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock to get home. The bus driver has between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. to get home. He should not be taking any passengers at that time. So they're the only person who is supposed to be on the road. After 7 p.m., only the police, the soldiers, and the essential workers must be on the road. How hard is that to understand? Come on, guys. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. My people are destroyed for lack of vision. In this case, it's not lack of knowledge is destroying you, because you know. What's destroying you now is lack of vision. You lack vision. You don't see you're throwing away your life. You're look at it. You might not have had a record. Some of them, I'm sure, have no police record. And now you're creating a police record that is going to hinder your process and your progress in life. For what? For what purpose? For what purpose are you doing that? That makes no sense. Does it make sense to you that you would throw away your life because you want to socialize during curfew? And when they look at this, because we saw the video, when we look at these persons, they're mostly young people. Come on, guys. You are classified as millennials, and millennials are supposed to be bright, super persons, we are told. But you're not proving that to us, yeah? Older ones. You're not doing it at all. You're not using this that God gives to you. God give you a brain to use. Come on, use it. Yeah? No, man, don't throw away. The things happen in life. We know things happen. And if something happened and you were arrested, and we can understand that. But for something as foolish as this, you're throwing away your life foolishly for no reason at all. Now, you're going to either have to pay some money that you don't have, and if you don't have the money, you might have to end up spending the time in prison. For what? Was it really worth it? Do you think it was worth it? You allow yourself to be arrested if you're protesting a human rights issue. I can understand that. Yeah? But not for drinking. You can do it at your home. Drinking, listen to some music. Put your phone. Every phone nowadays have a radio on it. You can put on your music. My phone has a radio on it. I can turn it on to listen to music if I want to listen to music. You can go onto YouTube and listen to music if you want to listen to music. I see Fame and RJ on these places have online parties, frequency this and frequency that and whatever their names are, right? Of a Saturday night, you can go do that and have a vicarious virtual party. Yeah, come on. We got to reinvent ourselves during COVID-19, and reinventing yourself for the better, not for the worse. Come on. Every day we get up, we must be better versions of ourselves, right? Absolutely. It can't be business as usual. We can't be the same today as we was yesterday. Yesterday, you knew X amount, and today you should know one thing more than you knew yesterday. I'm here talking with you guys, and I'm sure at least one thing I've said is something you did not know since I started to speak. So now you have learned one thing more than you knew yesterday. That's what we call personal growth and development, and that's what we have to do to grow. We must grow. God wants us to grow. Everything grows. The tree grows, right? The plants grow. Animals out there grow. You see, I saw the cat have some kittens the other day, and the kittens are growing. Yeah. What about us? We're supposed to grow too. And not just physically going from baby to adult to elderly to die. No, we must grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, yeah, financially, absolutely. Yeah. Guys, it's full time we stop hearing these kind of stories. I mean, reading these stories might sound funny and we have a laugh or two, but it's a sad situation, really. It's very sad. It's a sad indictment on us as a people, really. And it's time we don't have anymore. This is supposed to end, I think, May 31st. Let us try to, by between now and May 31st, not to have any more of these stories. Please, can we do that? Huh? Yeah, we gotta do that, man. We gotta do that. Yeah. All right. So I want to get to this other story because I have a comment to make about this one too. Yeah. So this one now, here's the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, the JHTA, right? The executive chair, Mr. Wayne Cummings, he was at a virtual public forum that was put on by the MBCC, the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, and the University of the West Indies Western Campus, right? So this happened in Montego Bay, Jamaica, right here, right? This happened. So during his presentation, he made some observation that I want to share with you based on the article that I was reading. So according to Mr. Cummings, the government should revisit and broaden its COVID-19 stimulus care package to include tourism workers with salaries above the $1.5 million income tax threshold because they are not in any better position than the others who are earning below that threshold, right, to survive under the COVID-19 pandemic. Excuse me. I'm quoting him. He says, it's a national crisis, and at some stage, we are going to have to relook at the level of stimulus and the length of the stimulus because the details are emerging that until we get a handle on the health situation, we are going to have to find a way to make sure that people are able to feed themselves and their families. Yeah? The workers from the tourism sector, in particular, will each receive $18,000 per month for the months of April, May, and June. He noted that stakeholders in the industry are very appreciative of the fact that the government has implemented the CARE program. The challenge is, he said, that it is targeting a specific group of persons who are earning $1.5 million in basic pay and below that. However, there are many persons, he said, whether they earn $1 above the threshold or upwards, they are in same situation. According to Mr. Cummings, except for a few hotels in Kingston, the hotel sector is closed down, meaning that 150,000 direct employees in the hotel industry, attraction and transportation businesses are at home, many of them without an income. I'm quoting him. He said, there are another 200,000 persons who are indirectly supported by the tourism sector, taxi, craft vendors, red cap porters, airport workers, contract and casual workers would come in on seasonal work, all of whom are now at home. The JHTA executive said that while some businesses have offered parts of salaries, most businesses have not been able to do so, leaving the vast number of some 350 persons at home without an income. Tourism workers who lose their jobs between March 10th and June 30th because of the economic ravages of COVID-19 are eligible to receive $54,000 under the government supporting employees with transfer of cash, the Set Cash Grant, over a 3-month period ending in June. All right, so I have to give me 2 cents on this, right? You know that. First of all, guys, you notice, I'm noticing a trend here. I'm noticing a trend here whereby the left hand don't seem to know what the right hand is doing, yeah? And people are throwing numbers out there and they really don't have any idea what they're talking about. Because I'm sure you remember hearing that the tourism minister, the Honorable Edward Bartlett, he said that there were 160,000 employees, right, in the tourism sector, with 130,000, he said, were at home, which means in the House, when he was giving his presentation, when he was pushing this pension scheme on us, which again, don't get me wrong, it's a good idea. The tourism pension scheme, wonderful idea. Time and place, Mr. Minister. Timing is everything. I know we got the time for it. I say it again, right? But you're touting and you're saying, but you're giving wrong information at the same time. And I'm seeing this thing being passed in the House. And how can you pass something that is built on fallacy? Yeah? It's not who did their research and did their proper research and investigation about this thing. Because the numbers, based on what the JHTA executive is saying, differs from what the Minister of Tourism is saying, right? Two different numbers we're getting. Now, which number is the finance minister using when he's putting together his budget to offer the stimulus package? Because he would have had to have a number, right, when he's putting together the package and determining that he was going to pay $4,500 per week to persons on the stimulus package. You don't just put out this number to your head, right? Of course not. You would have had to know, I'm going to need $10 billion, because if each person gets 4,500 and there's X amount of person, that's what equal to the $4 billion, right? Am I correct? Yes. So what figure did he use when he was doing his calculation? Huh? Because these people don't seem to have their act together and they don't seem to know what they're talking about. Nobody can give a straight answer to say, this is what we have. We're hearing figures here, this figure there, different figures all over the place. And these are the people who are leaders of our country and who we look up to for information and for advice and for direction. What's going on here? Next question I have for the gentleman, Mr. Cummings, the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, in charge of all hotels, right? And I heard Mr. Omar Robinson said that the JHTA and all hoteliers would be cooperating with the Minister of Health with regards to when he called for the bed. Remember the minister had called in March asking for 600 beds. You remember, right? I had that story. You can go back into my library and watch a previous episode where I talked about it. Yes, the minister called and he said he needed 600 beds. And guess what? You hear Mr. Cummings say hotels are closed down. Only a few in Kingston are open. Yeah? And basically, the minister has not met his target. He has not met his target. We have heard Grand Bahia, 250 rooms. Yeah? Jake Hotel, 75 rooms. You do the math. Okay? And Sandals, Kent Avenue, right, has donated some. I know it wasn't that much because a small hotel there, right? Maybe about the same 75 rooms, I presume. But they have not reached their target. They have, right now, the Minister, the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, has said that they're having a challenge with bringing these persons back into the country because of the lack of space. Where they're going to put them. Now, you have all these hotels open. And I've heard the Prime Minister made a suggestion about how the industries can correlate with each other. The BPOs, for example, I think I told you, right? Vista Print, oh my God, that's such an innovative company. Yeah, Vista Print, innovative company. I love that company, Vista Print, very innovative. What they did, right, was they rented out a hotel and they placed their workers in individual rooms in that hotel so that they could work. Talk about practicing physical distancing, social distancing, yeah? That's a company that is definitely leading by example, yeah? And so Vistaprint, that's what they did. They rented out the hotel and they placed their workers in individual rooms so that they can have them working there. So you won't hear about Vistaprint coming down with COVID-19, yeah? Now, I am saying, okay, these hotels are there locked. The government must pay you, you know. They must pay you. Why is it, therefore, that you are so unwilling to open your doors for the government to use your hotel to bring in these persons and put them into quarantine? What's the problem? And you're talking about stimulus package and the government must do the government. Well, what are you doing? The late John F. Kennedy reportedly said in a speech, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what can you do for your country. This in COVID-19 is a time, guys. It's not about one party or another party. It's about humanitarianism. It's about people showing the love that God has placed in your heart for your fellow men. Huh? And at this point in time, the country is in crisis. Our brothers and sisters are overseas and need to come back into the island. We need them to be quarantined for 14 days. It must happen. They must be quarantined for 14 days. And you're telling me your hotel is closed and you can't open your hotel to the government to bring in these people? I hope you people are paying attention, I hope you, because guess what? There is going to be a post-COVID-19 period. COVID-19 will not be around forever because everything has a beginning, has an ending. If it has a beginning, it has an ending. It has an ending. And so COVID-19 will become a thing of the past, I promise you. Yeah? So I am saying to you, I hope you're paying attention because some of you like these big hotels to go to these big hotels. Who cares nothing about you, but you like to go there to spend your money. I hope you're paying attention and recognize and see which hotels are really acting as humanitarian hotels and acting in the best interest of the people and support those hotels when the time comes for support. Yeah? Mm-hmm. All right. So that is my 2 cents with regard to that. It's very, very upsetting that these hotels are closed. And they could be getting money. They would not be getting the full money, right? But they'll be getting something, right? Absolutely. All right. Now, so we won't have any international stories today, guys. But tomorrow I will have international stories for you, right? I want to end up today's broadcast with, I think, a nice humanitarian story that I think you will enjoy listening to. Right. It's an author. It's an author. I'm an author, right? So I like whenever I see authors doing anything, my ears perk up. Yeah. And I pay attention. Absolutely. So I was looking and I saw this story about an author and what he was doing. And I thought, let me share this with my viewers. I think you'll enjoy this story. Yeah. So here goes. Although schools have been ordered closed due to the presence of COVID-19 in Jamaica, author and publisher Dr. Jermaine Gordon has begun hosting storytelling sessions aimed at school children, utilizing the Zoom conferencing app, which he hopes will spark interest among the youngsters during this stressful period. I'm going to quote him. Our children need help in times of crisis. So I have been searching for traditional tales from around the world, stories that may provide an internal place of peace for children, and stories that explore and transform feelings of powerlessness and fear into courage and inspiration. It is my hope that these cultural treasures can provide new and rich images to replace actual or televised images of violence, panic, death, sickness, and hopelessness. There are immediate ways to help our children find calm while feeling strong emotions, and one of these is intimate sharing of stories. End quote. Gordon's interactive Zoom conferences, which are held every Thursday, with as many as 35 children between the ages of 9 and 12, began in March, shortly after the government ordered schools closed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Students and their parents participate in storytelling sessions and talkback periods, with students being encouraged to use their imaginations to build stories of their own. He said, one of the special features offered in the program is the Ada line, where the children are given a plot for a story and then allowed to develop the story, stimulating their creative powers and genius. We are planning and coordinating an online concert for Child Month in May. This is Child Month, right? With approximately 100 children expected to showcase their talents. Each child is allowed to submit a 60-second video of them singing and dancing, playing a musical instrument, or doing a poem or a monologue, he said. This method of promoting students' imaginative abilities is similar to Gordon's earlier inspiring Our Future 360 Degrees Education program, which he launched in 2015. That program, which has been taken into 65 schools over the past 4 years, allows students up to high school and college levels to express their feelings through music and journaling activities. Absolutely. According to Gordon, a good story communicates a message that sticks in your brain. And in the sessions, parents can also learn how to make their images stick in others' brains like glue. Man, what a wonderful way to end the program, right? Yeah, guys, May is Child's Month, right? And so when you read stories like, a 3-year-old drowning, yeah, and you hear stories like a 15-year-old missing, it breaks your heart. I mean, every month should be Child Month, right? But since we already have a month being set aside and being celebrated as Child Month, right? Let us use this opportunity to really look out for our children, huh? They are our future, yeah? And more than that, every mother knows the belly pain of bringing that child into the world, yeah? It's not a nice feeling, all right? It's a joy after the child is born, but those 9 months, I mean, many of us go through hell and back to do that. And then to turn around and to lose your child, right? It's devastating. And sometimes it's not only losing your child to a drowning incident or missing, but even among your family, you find incest being committed, right? Stepfathers molesting our children, okay? From predators of all kinds, all types, all ages, all color, all creed, right? Protect our children. When our child says to us, mommy or daddy, so and so does so, don't say the child is, have an overactive imagination, or don't say the child is making the stories up, right? Take that child and look into it. And if you don't even believe the child, start to observe the child more closely, huh? To see exactly what's going on with this child. Okay? Because I'm not saying that you don't have some children who will actually trying to punish a parent by telling lies on it. We know it has happened. We've seen it has happened. But it's a minority case. Okay? Majority of the times when children say they are being molested, chances are they are being molested. Okay? So look into it. Don't just turn your back, okay? And don't just brush it aside. And don't let because of money, because of your lower socioeconomic status, that you say, okay, guess what? It is what it is. No, do not pimp out your child to these men. If you're in a relationship with a man and the criteria is your child, walk away. Go on food relief if you have to go on the poor relief program. If you have to go into a shelter, okay? Make your stories be known to the press so somebody can hear your story and help, and they will. People will help. There are good people out there who will help you. If they hear your story, they will help you. Yeah? But find a way. The answer is not to pimp out your child to your significant other. Okay? And any man, okay, who sees this opportunity when a woman in distress and take advantage of her by wanting to have sexual relationship with her child, you're not a man. Okay? You're not. Okay? Yes, God loves you, but God doesn't love what you're doing. And God will punish you. Yes, He will. Yes, He will. He's a God of love, but He's also a God of wrath. And He says, suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid that not. For such is the kingdom of heaven. God loves children, whether they know it or not. God loves children, and God punishes persons who take advantage of children. Sometimes, guys, you see some things happen to some people in some wicked way, and you wonder why. If you check their history, you recognize sometimes it's a payback because of what they have done to a child. It's just the reality we're talking here, guys. We're not being politically correct. We're calling a spade a spade. Yes, because no sin goes unpunished. Yes, because you cannot sow corn and reap peas. Whatever you sow, that you shall reap. That's just the realities, guys. So I'm saying to your parents, look out for your children in this child month, okay? Protect them, guide them, look out for their talents and nurture that talent, because some person have some talent, and there could be whatever this big thing in that particular talent, but because it was never nourished when they were young, they grow up as other an adult, and they don't realize their dreams because of that, the lack of talent, the lack of nurturing of that talent when they were younger. So look out for the talent and nurture that talent so that they can grow to be who they want to be, okay? And remember, 2 Fridays next week, not this Friday, next week Friday, I think the 15th of May, it is Children's Day, okay? So on that day, you're going to wear your yellow, okay? Wear your yellow in support of our children, Okay, that is the 15th of May, Children's Day. Everybody, find something yellow to wear, all right? Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you, my daddy. I had another session uninterrupted. Isn't that awesome? Isn't our God awesome? Yeah, he is an awesome God. He's an awesome God. And he loves me and he loves you. He loves all of us, okay? He has given each of us a talent and a gift. Yeah. And so I am doing what I'm supposed to do. You do what you're supposed to do, okay? So that we can all do it for his honor and glory and for the betterment of mankind. All right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. I love you so much. I thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, I thank you. I see all the thumbs up, and I thank you for the thumbs up. I know you enjoyed the program, and you did not comment, but I see the thumbs up, so I know you're enjoying it, and I thank you. What you have learned, just share it with somebody right now. Okay, share the link with someone that they can also learn. Because remember, knowledge is nothing if it is not shared. It has to be shared. It has to be applied. Okay, and so share the link right now. Okay, and remember, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Because when you subscribe, because many of you are watching, and I see it in the analytics. Many of you are watching but not subscribing. But remember, YouTube algorithms look at the subscriptions. So subscribe, guys, subscribe, 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 and share the link. And go on my other social media pages on Omega News JA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and like and share. Okay, all right, and let us grow together with this program. All right, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you subscribers, and I'm looking forward again to seeing you tomorrow, God willing, at noon. So it was my pleasure serving you, and I thank you for spending the time with me. And like I said, as always, stay blessed and be a blessing. Bye for now. Love you.